V10 Senna hier in Monte Carlo. Und das ist eine unglaubliche Sache. Ayrton Senna, der gerade eben noch seinen Bruder hier auf der Sound-Siegerhürde noch machen konnte. Und jetzt steht er hier bei uns ganz zur Siegerehrung.
Here he is below us, Ayrton Senna, Jonesy Federer helping him out and alongside him.
Ayrton Senna rejoint dans la hiérarchie des records, des victoires, des deux grands il avait obtenu 5 victoires. Il a obtenu 5 victoires, Ayrton Senna, on a encore le circuit de Monaco et à sa 34e victoire. De sa carrière. Alors que Ayrton Senna est actuellement entouré par ces différents mécanos et également politiques, il reprend ses esprits. Ayrton Senna qui est également félicité par le président Michel Moïri.
You lost touch with it, right? Such a long time I haven't won, you didn't bring my Nacional cap.
Bring me bad luck last time.
It's easy to have.
The teacher have.
Congratulated by his brother. Ricardo Matresi will be there shortly. It looks as though Ron Dennis will be going up on the rostrum. They're just waiting for the Williams drivers to join them on the rostrum.
Grandissima la gioia di Ayrton Senna che viene abbracciato da tutti i componenti della sua squadra. Vince 8 lui, davvero un grandissimo record per il brasiliano.
Ayrton Senna, er steht jetzt hier, ist bereit zur Siegerehrung, empfängt den Pokal vom Würfeln. Mansell qui est arrivé soutenu par des commissaires car épuisés de fatigue les deux pilotes sont juste ici Nacional Mansell qui est félicité par son Altesse Sérénissime actuellement et également félicité par Ayrton Senna. Ils sont complètement épuisés, je crois qu'il y a eu l'extraordinaire Grand Prix, surtout sur les 5 derniers tours. On a assisté à des moments extraordinaires du sport automobile. Alors que le moitié chambon, le champagne pour Ayrton Senna qui est en train d'arriver. Il a cherché Ayrton Senna est tellement fatigué aussi. Nigel, on a eu avec l'éditeur de Mclaren. Et il s'assoit Nigel Mansell, il est tellement épuisé.
Nigel Mansell kocht fast auf allen Vieren die Treppen hoch. Und er ist so geil am Ende, Nigel Mansell. Gerade eben darf er noch hier auf der Zielgeraden gekocht mit dem Sekt, den die Mclaren of Senna auch noch über den Kopf aus. Und den er selber noch in der Flasche hatte. Und Nigel Mansell hinten geht wieder einfach besser. Er hat alles gegeben, was da war. Hat er in den Meter noch die neue reingeholt. Und war dann auch in der Hauptvorjahr. Beide an einer Runde. Mit 5 Stunden Rückstand. Gleich wieder der erste Reihe von Senna. Aber weil unter der Herkunft ist, Reihe von Senna. Nigel Mansell nicht mehr gewonnen kommt.
Là où la contre-attaque s'est fait en cours, le but allait pour revenir sur une belle performance en tout cas pour les 3 pilotes qui arrivent sur le marché. Et en tout cas, ce fut donc tout le long cette 3e place en bagarre avec Michael Schumacher.
Ayrton, congratulations, your 5th Monte Carlo Grand Prix win. What an effort at the end. You didn't expect to win this one though, did you?
No, I didn't expect at all. I think, okay, we did our best. The car, the engine, the mechanics, the preparation, all throughout the weekend. And we were there at the end, but of course, we were never as fast as both Williams, both Mansell and Ricciardo. And in the race was a little better for me than qualifying. But even so, I trying my whole best wasn't good enough even to match Mansell's lap time. And I would say that as far as Monte Carlo is concerned, I use all the experience I have learned here over all those years that I managed to finish the races, learning how the situation changed throughout the race here. And I use my equipment to the best possibilities, but I think, of course, without Mansell stopping for tires, we would never come any closer to a victory.
What about that incredible pressure at the end from Nigel there? How did you actually manage to resist that?
Just to keep up with the adrenaline, I suppose. Normally the last 10 laps of every race you are just trying to motivate yourself to go right to the end and struggling in a way. And this time, I must say, I tried really hard mid-race to not let the gap go extremely too big for any eventuality that I would be not too far, you know. And I had a very unlucky situation when Alboreto spun and Mirabeau, and I come and I nearly hit his car. I had to stop completely. I stayed there. I lost about 8 to 9 seconds because I was stopped there, parked there. So I lost there 8-9 seconds, which were very valuable for late stage race in the event of some eventuality, which eventually happened. I was only counting on those things. That's why I kept pushing hard, as hard as I could the whole race. But once the last 5-6 laps, I realized I was in the lead. I had nothing else to give. The tires were completely worn out. They were good for the whole race, but they were worn out at the end. There was no grip. And he had new tires. He was coming for everything. So I knew he would be in for a major one the last 3 laps. But it was exciting, but very difficult because he was several seconds faster than me for every lap. And I had no grip to put the power down, so it was like on ice driving around. And fortunately, I think we were only 3 or 4 laps that way.
Thank you, Ayrton. Nigel Mansell, desperately hard luck for you here at Monte Carlo, that elusive first win still. What actually happened, Nigel? You were 28 seconds in the lead and then you disappeared into the pits. Tell us what happened.
Coming through the tunnel, I almost lost it, and the back end just went down. And I knew immediately I'd picked up an instant puncture. The problem was I was halfway from the pits, so I had to drive so slowly to get to the pits. And the car was, the brakes wasn't working because it was only on 3 wheels, and I think I probably lost about 10 to 15 seconds just getting it back to the pits. And then we had a longer pit stop than normal, and as I came out the pit I could see Ayrton go by. And I knew then that the race was probably lost, but as you can see from the last 10 laps, we gave it everything we could and more. And his car was just too wide to get past.
How are you feeling now? Because you look very tired indeed.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have the race under control for 7/8 of the distance, and then you pick up a puncher. That's Monte Carlo for you. And then you have to drive 10 to 11 tenths, and I think we're both driving way over the limit on the last 6 laps. I mean, I must compliment Ayrton because he pretty well second-guessed every move I tried to do, and he was very fair. I mean, he's entitled to do what he did, and I think he drove fantastic, and that's why he won the race, and I came a close second.
But Nigel, more points in the World Championship bag. You must be happy with that as a compensation.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most important second place I've probably had in my life. I've probably got a little tinge of disappointment because, as I said, I was pretty well under control, and, you know, bingo, going through the tunnel, you almost lose it. I mean, I was just thankful I didn't have an accident because I almost did. So I've got to be very, very thankful and grateful that we managed to get back to the pits. We changed the tyres and still came second. So although a little bit of disappointment, I should be happy too.
Riccardo Patrese, third place. Not the start you wanted, was it, Riccardo?
No, start was okay, but I was taking too much care not to have any problem with Nigel, and Ayrton just came beside me, and it was a bit of a surprise for me, and he got second place. After that, for the first part of the race, the early part of the race, I pushed a little bit Ayrton. And then my car started to behave a little bit difficult to drive. I lost my rear end. The rear end was very poor, lost the traction and a lot of oversteer. And I forgot Ayrton, and I had to worry very much about Schumacher, that he was coming very quick behind me, and I had really to fight very hard with my car and Schumacher to keep him third. And finally, I think he had some mechanical trouble because he slowed down the last 5 laps. And I think for me, it could be really very difficult to keep him behind because I was going on ice for at least the last 20 laps of the race.
Congratulations anyway, Riccardo. Ayrton, congratulations to you on your first win of the year. Nigel, hard luck, but a brilliant effort, and thanks for entertaining us. So it was a fantastic race.